Hi everybody, welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you who are new to my channel. I'm Adele Lavine, intuitive and medium. All right, so I want to do a video on how to connect with your ancestors. Because I did a video on cleansing, I want to be clear that there's ways to keep those that you want to talk to in your sphere, if that makes sense. So in other words, when you're cleansing and you're getting rid of energies you don't want in your space, you may go to yourself, how do I make sure my grandmother, my mother, my friend, whoever is staying in my space? So first point that's important, you're not getting rid of anyone, if that makes sense. What you're doing is putting boundaries. So when you do cleanse, so if you want to reference my last video and when I talk about cleansing, please do. And while you're at it, if you can like and subscribe, it really helps me because it helps the algorithm. Also, I wanted to let you know, you might have noticed on here that I'm doing more lives. I'm going to be doing live readings, and I've done a few, and you can check out the videos I've done before, but it's live readings and paranormal chat. So in other words, we'll do a little chit chat about paranormal things, and I also will be reading you live. Donations are appreciated but not required, and it's been actually really a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying. I used to do lives all the time, and I'm really enjoying doing them again. Also, Memorial weekend is here, so I'm offering 50% off of all my readings until Tuesday. So it is a Memorial weekend special with the code HOLIDAY. It's more about the idea, memorial in general, whether it's someone you've lost who was in the service or whether it's someone you lost just in your life. Memorial to me is remembering them. And since this is what I do for people, I figured it's fitting for all of you. So those are my announcements, and let's get to it. So one way to, number one, let's start with number one way to connect with your ancestors. You know, I'm going to say this, I always say this, talk to them. Start by talking to them out loud, telepathically, whichever way floats your boat. I know you might feel a little strange if you're talking out loud and going, Adela, that's going to look strange. You can feel weird about it. You don't have to do it in front of anybody, but talking to them even while you're driving, cooking, doing laundry, gardening, running, whatever floats your boat in having you go into that zone out zone. You can even talk to them out loud though, like sitting here. This isn't tea, it's water, but sitting and having a cup of tea or coffee and kind of imagining them there. That's also very therapeutic, but it's also a way for you to feel more comfortable and just kind of telling them what's happened about your day and your week. It doesn't have to be at a cemetery or anything like that. Oh, wait, that does remind me though. I did post on my Patreon, for all you Patreon people, I'm alive in the field, in action, at a cemetery, showing you, and this brings to my number two, how you can connect to people or practice talking to those who have passed at a cemetery. Meaning, if you want to find a way to connect to your ancestors, your family, your friends, practicing it on those you don't know to see, are you really seeing what you're seeing or feeling what you're feeling? You can do this at a cemetery. I show you this in my Patreon. The way you do it is you just kind of look at, kind of pick a plot and from far away, focus on it, see what you see, feel what you feel, and then walk up to it and see what it says. And I show you this in real time at the cemetery. I do this for you, showing you how to do it. It was really fun because on my Patreon, I'm going to do more and more live in the field type of things. And this is a way for you to kind of trust your own ability of talking to those who you have loved. You can do this with those in your life, meaning if you have someone who has passed and they were buried and you want to see, am I really seeing and feeling them? Feel free to do it in that space if you want to. Thirdly, an altar, an ancestor altar. putting up pictures, putting up candles, things that mean something to them and to you. So in other words, you don't need the altar per se to have that connection. But yeah, does it help to see pictures of them and for you to put candles and incense and kind of getting you in the mood and feeling connected to them when you're looking at the picture? Many, many times spirits tell me that when they, when you're talking to their picture, they can feel you because you're the one that's starting to get into the mode. You're dropping into the energy. You're dropping into feeling them. So talking to them through the altar, but honoring them in the sense that you are treating them like they are still in your life. And I feel like sometimes ancestral altars, although you can, if you just have an altar and it's not only an ancestral altar, that's what I do. You can have all the other things your altar has and then put up the pictures and memorabilia and things of that person on that altar. You don't have to have a separate altar if you don't want to. That's not the way I do it, but some people do. Lastly, and the most important part of like pulling them in is for you to remember, for like the last one that I'm going to say. Did I say 4 or 5? I don't know. Citric will correct me. The last one, because I you know me, I like to go by what's coming, to me, is for you to find, don't worry about the dates, the holidays, their anniversary, your anniversary, the anniversary of their passing is what I mean, but you to find something that was between you and them. Meaning, if you had an event you used to go to with them, if there's a certain day that means a lot to them and to you. Because what this does is this emotionally starts to kind of rev up something in you. You start to have this memory and feeling, and you start to feel like you remember what it was like to have them here, physically here in this realm with you. And so let's say you want to go to an event that you always used to go to. And I know that sometimes that can be painful. So definitely wait until you feel like you've healed. You don't have to do it like as soon as that person's passed. You may need some time, but wait until you feel like you've healed and you've kind of felt like you can handle it. So don't push yourself, but go to, let's say you would go to a fair, or let's say you used to go shopping, or let's say on their birthday, you always did the same thing. It's okay to do those things. And when you do that, bring something with you. Bring something with you that means something to you and to them, but mostly to you. So if it's an item you want to wear, if it's something of theirs you want to put in your pocket, if there's a picture you need with you, because I'm telling you, what happens most of the times when we're dealing with the ancestors is that we are, and people we've lost, is that we are feeling disconnected. And so connecting you to them. What I really want to emphasize is that when you're doing the spiritual protection in your space, and I just wanted to say this because as I'm telling you all these things, what you say is you say, those with good intentions are welcome. And here's the ones that are welcome. Okay, you can list them, but don't worry. You don't have to list every single one. Obviously, that realm knows that you are looking to connect to these certain types of people, your family, your friends. But if it helps you to kind of focus, you can say like this grandmother, this friend, that friend, and those with not that intention get out. Same as if you're talking, as I said, you're going to sit and have tea or whatever and talk to them. Same as if you're walking somewhere, like meaning you're going to a certain place at the cemetery. If you're going to an event or place that means a lot to you with that person, same with that. Then what you do is you still put that protection around you, especially at a cemetery, because you're not trying to talk to others people unless you want to practice with strangers like I show you in my Patreon. But if it's just for the people you know, then you have to set those boundaries as well. But these are the ways that you connect to your people. This is how you connect to them and stay safe. So here are the steps. I'm trying to do more videos on very specific steps on on the how to. These are the how to's. These are the different steps. I kind of visualize steps that you can do to help you connect to your ancestors and your friends and obviously family. And what I mean by ancestors is close family, even if it's, not close family, and friends, meaning those who are close to you. It's just easier to kind of say it in this kind of form. This is the way to get started. This is very different than mediumship. This is you connecting to your people while staying safe. The reason why I wanted to do this video is because the last video I did on protection, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I want people to know that you also do not have to lose your connection to those you care about. I hope that helped. And I already made the announcements. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining me today, but also for those of you who've come to my lives. It's been really fun talking to you guys. Those of you said you've been watching me for some time. I super appreciate it. Follow yourself, follow no one, listen to your inner voice, and I'll see you soon.